Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Special. What a win for the Broncos today at home, 39-26 winners over the Dolphins. They're now 8-3 on the season and a perfect 6-0 at home. Weighing in on tonight's action, sports director Rob Namnoum and sports reporter Jason Carter. Now, it was the hard-nosed running by C.J. Anderson that picked up some key first downs in this one, including a big fourth down run in the third quarter, guys.
Yeah, let's not forget, he was really the closer of this football game. He had that big run to close out the football game. And maybe most importantly, after the Dolphins scored that late touchdown, then the two-point conversion, it was Anderson on the hands team who was able to grasp and get a handle on that onside kick, on that funky kick. And Jason, I know you were really impressed with C.J. Anderson today.
Yeah, he was just running all day long. Big holes, too, by the offensive line. He gave credit to the offensive line afterwards, which those guys have been under fire a little bit the last week, and they were making huge holes for Anderson that I might have been able to run through eventually. But he really did look great. He was the motor that made the Broncos offense run today.
Yeah, Josh, and Anderson also said after the game, too, you know, this offensive line of the Denver Broncos, much maligned for the better part of 2 weeks. He said, hey, look, those guys are human, too, and they wanted to go out today and prove that the Broncos could be efficient running the football. And let's not forget, Josh, last week against the Rams, they only ran it 9 times. They ran 8 times in that opening drive here against the Dolphins on Sunday.
Exactly. Maybe put that Richie Incognito on hold for now. 27 carries for 167 yards. A big day for Anderson today. All right, now let's talk about Emmanuel Sanders. Now, he had some big catches in this one. Finished the afternoon with 9 catches for 125 yards, but the big play came early in the game on 3rd and 5 with the Broncos trailing, and he reached out and caught the ball, and that was a big play that got this offense going, guys.
You know, Josh, I asked a couple of players in the locker room, do you win today if Emmanuel Sanders does not suit up? And they wouldn't really come out and say it, but I personally think if Sanders doesn't step on this field, some of those big plays the Broncos receivers do not make. He was definitely a big factor in the Broncos' victory today. And by the way, Josh, Sanders also told me that it wasn't a concussion he suffered last Sunday. It was more of a knee injury, so he knew as the week went on that he was going to play today. And, you know, what can you say about Emmanuel Sanders? He doesn't weigh a whole lot. He's about 170 pounds soaking wet, Jason, but boy, he came up big today.
And it wasn't just the catches either. It was the pass interference calls that he got on the Dolphins' defensive backs that really kept drives alive late in the game for the Broncos so that they could set up those late scores.
Yeah, I think this, Josh, this was a real gritty, gutty victory by the Broncos.
It was a big win. All right, now let's go to the negative side. McManus missed a field goal. Now, he's now missed 4 field goals since becoming the kicker 11 games ago for the Broncos. Matt Prater, you know, he was automatic with the Broncos. In fact, he hit 3 of 4 against the Patriots today, a long of 48 yards. Is that something we should be worried about, guys?
I think you should definitely be worried about. I mean, today the Broncos won by a slim margin. Before the game, we watched McManus warm up, and he missed about 7 or 8 kicks, which you normally do not see out of an NFL kicker. Although I will say this, Matt Prater has not kicked well for the Lions either, and frankly, because of his lack of professionalism, that's the reason why he's not on this football team.
Yeah, McManus's kicking is really going to change the play calling as well, because when they were down 28-25, you weren't sure if they were going to come and get a score. There was plenty of time left, but if it came down to it, would Fox have kicked that field goal, I think he probably would have tried to go for it, and that would have totally changed this game.
And Josh, let's not forget, last week in a dome in St. Louis, the Broncos could have possibly kicked a couple of times from 45 yards and out, and Fox elected to go for it. So that kind of shows just how much confidence the Broncos coaching staff has in the right foot of Brandon McManus.
Exactly. Maybe give that guy a little more reps. All right, thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll have more right after this.